Does the time change and impending holiday season usher in some darkness for you? Welcome to No Two Gays About It, the show for gay men over 50, hosted by two gay guys over 50. I am Michael Foley.
And I'm Tom Burke.
And today we're going to be talking about the time of year where bears hibernate, trees lose their leaves, and for a lot of folks, some major gray rolls in.
Yeah. But before we really get into it, just want to talk to you guys who are watching us on YouTube. Please do us a favor, hit like and subscribe and that little bell so that whenever we have new content out there, you will be notified. And also make sure that you leave your comments. Michael and I love reading all of your comments, even those ones that are not quite as nice. And, while I'm on that, I just want to send a little shout out to someone who did leave a really nice comment that was so supportive. Don't have a name, but it is at RT3319. Thank you very much. And for all of you, you can see we read, we respond, we love all of your comments. So
we do.
Please.
And just a reminder, we do like to keep it a judgment-free zone. So, roast the show, talk about the subjects, but, let's try to be nicer to one another.
Okay, that would be nice.
All
right. Now, speaking of being nicer, what do you got for us, Michael? What's happening with what's going on?
It's that time of year where the clocks fall behind, so we get an hour back, but we also lose some daylight. And that creates some issues for folks. And the holidays are sort of right on the tail too, so it sort of compounds the issue. Were you one of those folks that, like, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, before it had a name, experienced this thing they now call SAD?
Yeah. Tell me though, what does SAD stand for?
Seasonal. I know I was going to get Seasonal Affective Disorder.
Yeah. Obviously we didn't know what it was called or what was happening to us, but I do know that I hated changing the clocks back.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like coming out of school or work or practices, whatever we were doing, and it was dark and you'd be like, the day's over. I missed the entire day.
Right. Yeah. And, you think that you're the only person experiencing this because back then nobody talked about it. And I was one of those folks that always went into this sort of, I'm like a bear. I want to just stay in bed and hibernate and not be bothered with people because it does affect me. And I have a lot of friends who it also affects. It's weird. Once it was given a name and you went, oh, other people experience this too, it became something where you were like, oh, I'm not crazy. It's not just me.
Yeah. I mean, now that we know what it is, it's easier to just acknowledge it and move on, kind of,
Yeah.
And I think
figure out ways to, navigate it. Because there is this malaise that just sort of washes over you and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
And it's a legit thing. Again, that's why bears hibernate, right?
Right.
They're the smart ones. I would love to go to sleep from November to, let's say, April.
I don't know about that, but I do know that the time change and then the darkness, all of a sudden you just start feeling the weight of the next few months. Like you said, it's not only it's darker now and it's colder, depending on where you live, but usually everywhere you live, it gets a little colder and wetter, and then the holidays, and you just get piled onto this like pressure. It's all coming. So not only the darkness, but the pressure of the next few months also gives you this kind of seasonal. What is it? Seasonal?
SAD. Just remember SAD. Seasonal Affective Disorder.
Right. Yeah. But, it also ushers in some really happy things too. I mean, not everyone feels horrible about the holidays, but, it gets darker, it's getting colder. And definitely when I was living in Chicago and specifically living in New York, it was like, all right, I get to wear amazing clothes now and, layers and those amazing sweaters and my beautiful camel coats. And so it does bring in some of that fun thing,
Bless your heart. Because I'm just the opposite. I'm like, layers, really?
Well, when you live back east, yes. Now, we went out somewhere last night and Scott was putting something on, like his pants were whitish, and I was like, "Oh no."
Oh, no, no, no. Even I know that.
Yeah, right.
No, because Patty Hearst would have a field day, or I'm sorry,
Patty
Serial
Hearst.
Mom would have a field day. He would be.
Wait, what? What?
He would be. Do
What?
you remember Serial Mom,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
she beat Patty Hearst to death with the phone because she was wearing white after Labor Day?
Got it. Yeah. I I got it.
I know.
I was
So
just thinking Patty Hearst, she was
yeah, that was
abducted.
her.
Yeah.
That was her. Yeah.
No, I know, but I wasn't connecting the white
Gotcha.
pants to her, but I did now. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, you have to think of the happy that it's coming as well if you are affected by sad, or the pressure of these next few months. You have to kind of really start looking at some good stuff as well.
Yeah, and that was one of the great things about, living New York area is that when you went into the city this time of year, my God, it was so beautiful. It is magical. New York is magical during the holiday season. If you guys have never been, I highly suggest it because everywhere you look, it's like Christmas threw up. And it's so beautiful.
Except if you actually live in Manhattan and all of you bridge and tunnel people are coming in and invading our space.
Well,
Then we might.
we bridge and tunnel people buy shit and help support New York. So it's sort of it's a win-win at times for
Okay.
both of us.
All good. Yeah. But New York is not the only magical place this time of year. And I love all of the big cities, the bustling, the hustling. People are out shopping and like I said, wearing amazing clothes. Not everybody, but you have that opportunity to do that. What are other positive things for you during this period now where the darkness is setting upon us?
Well, like I said, I'm one of those people who has to really push himself this time of year because, like I said, I seriously could go to sleep for months and be very happy. So I make sure that I get physical activity in every day. That helps me.
Right.
Not being a morning person is a challenge because I find I have to get up earlier. So I do have a little bit more daylight because, the sun's going to be setting here tomorrow at 4:36. Oh, which makes me nuts.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And here's what I do until me and another friend, we sort of count the days until December 21st because we know that's the date. After that falls, we start to get daylight back.
Right.
So that's the finish line for me this time of year. Is I get very excited as December 21st rolls along.
And for me, the 21st is too close to Christmas and there's too much pressure. So it's not until after New Year's that then I can start thinking like, oh, we're headed towards summer again, but I got to get through those holidays first.
So we did bring up the holidays. How do you navigate that pressure that you just spoke of? How do you get through that? What's your secret that you could share with some of us?
Well, I do different things, especially for those of us gay men. We're not all connected to our families anymore. We're not all running home to have our Yuletide family get-togethers. Some of us is just not in the picture. So I think I've talked about this before on our show that my husband and I used to have this big holiday party. It started for orphans, anyone who didn't have somewhere to go for Christmas. We invited them, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And then this year, or when we moved out to Palm Springs, we didn't have that. I mean, no way were 100 people coming to our house for Christmas because we didn't know 100 people because we were new to the city. But this year, I am chairing an event that's taking place on Christmas Day. It's for 1,500 people who didn't have anywhere to go for Christmas. Where Santa's coming for gifts for all the children. They're serving dinner. And so I've been planning that since the summer. And that has really helped me. Like, I always feel like you need to have that goal, that thing that you're going for,
right.
And if Christmas is a negative, then that is a goal you're pushing away and you don't want to get towards.
Right. And that's a great tip. Do some volunteer work at a food kitchen.
Sure. Yeah.
Work for Toys for Tots. There are a million organizations out there who would love some additional help during the holiday seasons.
Yeah.
When I lived back east, every year I would volunteer at a food kitchen because I love to cook, and feed like you are going to be doing, just hundreds of people. It's such a spirit lifting event, that
Well, it gets us out of ourselves.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely. And I think that's the best probably remedy for this particular time of year and folks who do struggle with that gray that rolls in,
right?
get out of yourself, get out of your head. And again, that goes back to the physical activity or again, volunteering. It's hugely important to get out of your head. That is a very dangerous place to be for a lot of us,
Right. No
right?
kidding.
Yeah.
But, Michael, there are plenty of people who are suffering from SAD and who are suffering from the pressures of the holidays. But there are others, when the time changes, they've got their pumpkin spice latte and their pumpkin Oreos, and they're planning their Christmas parties and they're decorating. A lot of people are really into it. And there are a lot of
Absolutely.
gay men over 50 who are so into the holidays.
And there's another suggestion. Surround yourself with those folk because it will rub off, right? Our friend Joe, who's perpetually happy,
Mm-hmm.
is just, he loves the holidays. So I tend to, like to be around him because it does rub off. How can you not be happy around happy people?
Well, sometimes happy people make sad people much sadder because
Or it makes you want to slap them. It's like, why are you so happy?
well, there is that, but it also, kind of tears some people down where it's like, I'm not like that. I'm never going to be like that. My life is not going to be as good as, so they start that spiral down.
Yeah. And then
and I
again, it's that moment where you got to get out of your own head because
Right. I think it's definitely it's for all of us. We talk about this all the time, every show basically, that we are a community. We over 50 gay men out there need to be supporting each other, be kind to each other, help each other through whatever periods are not happy for you,
And here's a thought. Ask somebody who's incredibly happy this time of year. Hey, what is it you love about this time of year? What makes you so happy? They might trigger something in you that makes you remember something and completely look at something in a different way,
Yeah, awesome. Hey, on the spot, I'm gonna ask you something. Do you have like
Uh-oh.
an amazing, happy memory of this time period? From I don't know, from now the changing the clocks to the beginning of the holiday season. Anything like really happy memory?
I have a ton of them of my time in LA. Coming from the dysfunctional family that I did, there were none as a child. And it wasn't until I moved to LA that I found my chosen family. And holidays are always joy filled. And, we started at like 8 or 9 people that at dinner I cooked at my house for the holidays because we all decided it was a group of guys from my softball team. And we all decided we were going to stay in LA that year. And I was like, I'll cook. And it's grown into this thing where like 40 or 50 people, it's just an open door policy. Come and it's so love filled, non-judgmental, just from start to finish. And sometimes, we'll go until 1 or 2 in the morning, just playing games and just enjoying each other's company. It's a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. How about you? Do you have any great childhood memories you could share?
I do have one. I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but I had a huge learning experience around Thanksgiving when I was a child. I have 2 older sisters. My eldest sister was going to Thanksgiving with her boyfriend at her boyfriend's house. It was the first time that my nuclear family was not going to be together, and it threw me. I don't remember how old I was, very young, but I remember sobbing on my bed and my mother coming in and sitting on my bed and telling me that this is what life is about. It's about change.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of that. And so this time of year, I always think of that. I can still hear her voice. I can still picture myself throwing myself on the bed and sobbing because, of course, I was such a dramatic child.
Did you do this?
No.
Oh, come on. Why? Just say yes to, come on.
Okay, yes, I did. It was fantastic.
Just to give visual.
Yeah, no, so I have that that memory, great learning experience. I loved Thanksgiving more than any other holiday because it's a pressure-less holiday.
Without a doubt.
You know,
Unless
unless
unless you're cooking for 40 or 50 people, because then it
that's the
starts the
thing.
week before. But
Right,
still, you do it I did it with such joy
right.
that, cooking is love.
Yeah.
And
And there isn't that, like, you don't have to spend tons of money buying gifts. You
yeah,
don't have to be specially decorating your house with all this Christmas stuff.
or trying to
Um,
figure out that perfect gift for,
yeah,
the people in
exactly.
your life. It's just that like you said, it's pressure free. It's
Yeah,
about
it's
the food, it's about the communing. It's
yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
And I think also some of my first years, not in college because I would go home for Christmas or for Thanksgiving, but my first years in New York, those were some really, like you said, you have to kind of build your own family around you and all of my friends. And we had just the really lovely, lovely, fun, happy Thanksgivings. One of the funniest memories I have my absolutely BFF forever. She and I met, I think we were like 20 in New York during a summer, and we're still BFFs. She was just out here visiting me, which was awesome.
Nice.
But our first Thanksgiving, we were, and we were in like one of those little, she had a really small little apartment in New York, and we were in this tiny little kitchen thing that had an accordion door. We closed it. We were in there. We dropped the turkey on the floor, and we just burst out laughing for, I don't know, 20 minutes. We could not stop laughing about this turkey on the floor.
Question. Cooked, uncooked?
Oh, totally cooked.
That
Yeah.
makes it even better.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it was awesome, and, like, her boyfriend at the time opens the door and looks in, and he just, like, gave us this look and, like, slammed the door. We finally got ourselves together and, you know, presented the turkey to everyone who was out there. No one knew, or if they
Nope.
did, nobody cared.
What's the 3-second rule, right? Hopefully you got it up quick.
Oh god, no. It
But
was 20 minutes we were sitting around it. We were both on the floor with it, just, like, laughing hysterically.
okay, I'm gonna share this story that is both tragically sad, yet hysterically funny. I
Okay.
I I always make pumpkin pies from scratch. FYI, you could find the recipe for that in our bonus material if you wanna pop over to Patreon. But
Sweet.
that aside, so I had 3 pies in the oven, which was 1 pie more than there should have been. So you have to gently turn them, while they're cooking so they cook evenly and there's no brown, or burnt on one side that was in the back of the oven. And when I go to take the first one out, I did something so incredibly stupid. Yet again, really amusing. I picked it up with one hand and left half of the pan wasn't in my hand. And the pan literally bent in half, and this pie just crashed to the floor. And I'm standing there with the remaining bit of the pan in my hand and looking at the pumpkin pie on the floor. And
And
there was that moment where I was like, I was really hungry.
right.
And I'm like, I'm not letting this go to waste. So I grabbed the fork out of the silverware drawer, sat down on the floor, and just was like, oh, this is really good.
Awesome. Awesome.
It was like, I wish, people have what are those spy cams in the house now?
Sure.
Every part of it. I was like, God, I wish there was something in my house that could have recorded that because it
Right.
was so. And there was a moment where I went, oh, and was really angry. And I went, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. And man, it was the best floor pie I've ever had.
There you go. Floor
Yeah.
pie.
Floor pie.
Check out that recipe, Michael's floor pie. Awesome. So yeah, it's these really happy moments that happen during this period that we have to hold on to and look forward to, because we know they're going to happen. Something's going to happen that's going to bring some joy within this kind of dark period, right?
Yeah, and laugh at, if something goes really wrong. Instead of getting upset or mad, laugh at it, right?
Yes.
Because will it matter 2 days from now? More than likely not.
No.
So enjoy the moment, laugh at yourself, take a little bit of the pressure off.
Right.
It helps.
Awesome.
Yeah. So do you have any other tips for how people navigate these sort of rough waters, gray sky times for us?
Well, I think, one of the biggest things that we all have to do, as I said earlier, is we have to be there for each other. You have to reach out to people, make sure that people are okay. If you know that you have a friend who is suffering from SAD, reach out to them, or tell people.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of like a hard thing to do, but
It gets easier though, when as you share, the sharing becomes easier. And
sure.
again, you're going to be surprised at how many people are sharing the same experience and like you are choosing not to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff like light therapy. Make sure you're getting outside and getting some sunlight, or load up on your vitamins. Vitamin D is really big this time of year because we are deprived of sunlight. And
Right.
that gives it, it's kind of like Superman. You get that energy from the sun. It's really true.
It is. So, I mean, that is something that for me all year round is very important. That sun, I
Yeah.
need the sun. I absolutely adore London. I love spending time in London. I love the rain. I love the fog. I love London. But after a couple weeks, I'm like, where's that sun?
Yeah.
I just need it. And I know I could never live in an area that does not. That's why I am, in Southern California, because I need that sun every day. And so, yes, you're right. Even in the grayest of times, vitamin D is a huge
Yeah.
thing. Popping those, getting that vitamin D, or even if it's freezing out. I remember running outside and whipping my shirt off and just getting that sun on my
Yeah.
skin. And
And just feeling it on your
yeah,
face,
right.
just, my God, it changes your mood so much. And, if you're in a place where it snows, a fresh fallen snow with the sun reflecting off of it, holy crap.
Except if you have really light blue eyes, it is so painful. And I grew up in Chicago with snow drifts everywhere, and you'd walk outside and be like, "Whoa, I can't see, and it hurts." And of
Oh,
course,
that's something I never thought about with people with lighter eyes. Your eyes are actually more sensitive?
oh God, yeah. Yeah, it hurts. And
Wow.
I don't know why, when I was younger, why did we not wear sunglasses during the winter? My whole family has these light blue eyes. You'd think my mom or dad would be like, put on some sunglasses. They won't hurt as bad. But
Well, I'm Sicilian, so that's why we never wore sunglasses because I guess we all had darker eyes.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, look at that. Learned something new today, something you never think about.
Right.
I
There you
love
go.
that.
Awesome.
And there are specific things that we in the LGBTQ plus community should probably focus on a little bit more. Like you said, chosen family,
Yeah.
reaching out, supporting one another. Because for a lot of guys our age, our family connections have diminished or, were ended a while ago because of who we are.
Right.
So I think for us in our community, there's another level of grayness that might sort of roll on in, like the fog in London.
Yeah.
And we really have to support each other and check on each other and make sure that everybody in your circle is doing okay this time of year, especially this time of year.
And I mean, we know our friends who are grumpy during the winter. We know, so you know who you need to be checking up on. But also, my husband, Scott, just started this program through the center, the Gay and Lesbian LGBTQ plus center here in Palm Springs, where they hook you up with somebody who is an older person who's single and alone. And he texts that person every morning to make sure they're okay. He calls them, I don't know how many times it is a week. So they are out there checking, but you have to be the one to call your center and say,
Yeah.
I need someone to check on me.
Like how amazing that particular man who your husband is assigned to actually reached out to the Gay and Lesbian Center and
Right.
asked for help.
Yeah.
We're from a generation where that's not something we do naturally. It's
Not
just
at all.
not,
And
you know?
especially us gay guys, seriously. We don't want, to show, oh, we're weak and whatever. So yeah.
Or the slightest bit of vulnerability.
It- Yeah.
It is who we are. And, open up your heart, extend it a little bit and show people you're vulnerable. Your entire life may change.
Sure.
Like this guy who called the Gay and Lesbian Center and said, I need some help. I need some human contact.
Right.
How brave is that? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Or, if you have a friend that is alone and needs to be checked on daily or weekly or whatever, you can call the center and tell them about that person as well. Um, there's a lot that we can be doing for each other, and I don't think we're really doing it.
I'm going to suggest that if you do that, though, you let the person know, because the last
Oh,
thing
yeah,
you
well, of
want is
course,
for
yeah.
him to be on his heels, when the gay and lesbian center calls and says, "Oh, I hear you need some help."
Well, I mean, that could be really nice too, though. Someone thought about you, and so we just want to know, would you like to be part of this
Yeah.
program?
I guess it depends on how they approach it, right? How they reach out to him.
Yeah, I'm sure they're lovely and sweet. And I saw something else on Facebook, because we are over 50, so we are all on Facebook. The Gay Men of Palm Springs, or some one of those pages, where a couple said, "Hey, we want to host some older gay people who have nowhere to go for Thanksgiving. If you know anyone, let us know." I thought that was so great, and
That is.
yeah, so we all were reaching out to him, this couple, going like, "What do you need? How can we help you guys?" Because we are a community and we have to be there for each
Right.
other and help each other out. So definitely that's a big thing to do for all of us during this dark period that starts when the clocks change and starts to go away after the new year.
And some of us just want to crawl into a cave and
Not
sleep
a-
for a few months. My God, you don't think that would be nice?
No, I do not.
And
And-
what happens? Wait, what happens to bears during their hibernation? They
They
lose about a third of their body weight. So it's a
They're not
win-win.
eating. So
You get rest and you lose weight.
Yeah.
No,
Because,
all right,
because
all
they
right.
don't eat. So you're going to be in bed not eating for months?
Yeah, if I'm sleeping, who cares?
Okay. I don't,
You know?
this is something that we talked about this morning, my husband and I. As you get older, how do you still need this much sleep? We wake up at like 3 a.m, looking at each other like, "Are you awake?" "Yeah, I'm awake. We went to bed like 3 hours ago. What's happening?" For some reason, older people don't need that much sleep.
I've heard that my whole life, and I don't know. I still like my sleep. Like, I'll wake up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and if it's a day I don't have anything to do, guess who's going back to sleep for an hour or two? Because
So
it just feels so good.
I've already been at the gym.
Bless your heart.
Just saying.
I'll go after I get up.
Okay.
Because I do. I love my perfect window is 8.5, 9 hours. I love that.
I cannot remember when the last time I had 8.5 or 9 hours
Wow.
of sleep. Seriously, if I get like 5, it's a big day. I
Wow.
slept 5. Yeah.
I think part of that may be how physically active you are too, that your body does actually need that rest. So,
But I'm really physically active.
yeah.
So I don't, and
Who
that's
knows?
the thing I don't understand. And my doctor said, "You're old. That's what happens.
Wow.
You just stop needing so much sleep."
But
So
do you nap?
I cannot nap. I am a
Yeah, me
person that
either.
cannot take a nap.
Yeah.
My husband napped, and he could nap for like 10 hours. And I'm like, "Hello, like what's happening?" Not 10
See,
hours.
that once you pass that half hour, 45 minutes, that's actually called sleep, not nap.
Yeah. And you mentioned him earlier, our friend Joe. I know that he does this like every day 15-minute nap where he lays down, falls asleep, wakes himself up in 15 minutes.
Yep.
I don't understand how
And
that
is
works.
more perky than he was before he laid down.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. See, he's the one I want to slap. And I've told him that forever. We actually, when we first traveled together, we were sharing a room, eyes wide open. It was like 6:30 in the morning. He's like, "Good morning, Michael." I'm like, "You need to leave the room." And it was a match made in heaven, because from that point on, he got up, was quiet, left the room, did what he had to do, and came back an hour or two later, and we were good.
Good for him.
And good for me, because I got to
Right?
sleep. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, key to this particular time of year is what? Take care of yourself, know your needs, reach out to people, right? If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling gray, if you're feeling blue, reach out. What do you got, Tom?
Well, definitely reach out, but on the other end, reach out to everybody, all of your friend group, or people who you just know, or that neighbor that you haven't seen walk his dog lately.
Right.
Maybe I should just check on him and see if he's okay. And see what he's doing for the holidays. We have to
And
be there.
if you know somebody who is like that, invite them to something, because there's always something going on this time of year. Invite them to something, even if it's a
Right.
little festivity at a bar. If a bar's having a Christmas party, invite them out.
But even not, we have a while till we get to holidays. We're starting this sad season. First, I don't want to call it a sad season, but when this sad, whatever,
The season of sad.
yeah, I want it to be a happy season, whether, so I don't know.
Okay, how about a happy sad season?
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going into this darker season. So you don't have to wait till the holidays. You can call up that friend and say, do you want to go have a pumpkin spice latte at the local coffee shop with me? Or, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. How about I come over and bring some pumpkin Oreos, which
Right.
have you had those yet?
You didn't know. There were some things that just didn't need to be created, and to me, that would be one of them. Bless your heart if you like them.
Right.
Don't throw shade at me, because I don't want to try them. But I like I'm a purist. I want my Oreo.
While we're talking about Oreos, I was walking through Target the other day. We haven't even changed our clocks yet. We haven't even started that period yet. The holidays are looming way off into the distance. And there they were, the white fudge covered Oreos.
No.
It was as if the sun was shining and the angels were singing, and I was drawn to that box. And before I could even get to my car, yes, they were in my mouth, and I was like, oh, it's that time of year again. So
I
it's
didn't know that
thing.
existed. I did not know that existed, that particular one. I knew about the pumpkin ones. I didn't know about the Christmas ones.
I'm sorry, what?
Ah.
Oh my God, they are I love white chocolate. I love Oreos. Put
Yeah.
them together. But the point of that little story of me skipping through Target, clutching my boxes of white fudge covered Oreos, it's the little things that we have to find
Right.
in this period. You need to find those little things. If you are feeling sad, if you are feeling the pressure of the looming holidays, whatever it is, find those little things. And I'm going to throw out to all our people out there. What are your little things?
Yeah.
What are those happy moments that get you through this period? If you are indeed one of those people who feel the darkness and the sadness of this period.
Or if you're one of those really happy, perky people, please share some of your ideas with us, because Lord knows I need them.
Right. Yeah, we want to hear from all of you about everything about this period, because we're moving into it. We all want to get to the end of this as happy and supportive and kind and, just generous people that we all are. So let us know.
Thanksgiving is literally 3 weeks away. So it's
Oh my God, seriously?
The train is coming down the track, Tom.
Wow, who knew?
I know.
It's so crazy. I mean, I can't, I gotta take it little steps. That's another thing. That's another thing that I do that other people might have to do too. Take it by little steps. First, I've got to get through the time change. Then I've got to get through Thanksgiving. Then it's my birthday. Then we'll have to get through, the holiday start and all of that. That's a lot, especially here in Palm Springs. It's season, and that means a different dinner party, cocktail party, event every freaking night, which also means a different outfit every freaking night. So, there's
wow, that's a tough life, man. You know what I'm going to be doing? There's this amazing place here in Palm Springs called Play Lounge, and every single night of the week they have events going on. There's a candle making thing coming up.
Cool.
I'm going to that. And for the holidays, the guy who owns it is so amazing. He has the calendar jam packed with holiday stuff. So if you are in Palm Springs and you are looking for something to do, check it out, because seriously, it's such an amazing environment. And it's always fun. I can't wait to make candles. I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Cool. But you don't have to be in Palm Springs. Every city, every place has something. find it.
Yeah.
Go for one of those sleigh rides through the snow. Go, hay ride through the pumpkin patches. I don't know what it is that's out there. Go make candles. I just signed my husband up for a pottery class. Find those things that are going
And thanks to Google, seriously, the world is at your fingertips.
There you go.
Put in your area stuff to do for gay men or just stuff to do, in general. And chances are you're going to find some stuff that's going to just be fun.
And this goes out to our amazing audience out there who are listening and watching us. What do you guys do? What are things in your area? Let us know. And as we see people commenting on our little communities that we're building, tell each other what to do. Tell each other what you do, what you gets you through the day or whatever it is. We love that.
Absolutely.
Community.
It's all about community. Let's share with each other.
Michael, how can they be part of our community?
You guys could reach out to us across social media. Anywhere you are, we are. And that's at No Two Gays About It. Just remember, it is the number 2. And if you want to send us a more personal message, you could shoot us an email at no2gaysabout@gmail.com.
Right. And we also, Michael mentioned this earlier, we have Patreon. I don't know if any of you guys know what Patreon is. It's a great place where you can support our show, but it's also somewhere that you can find all of our bonus material, such as Michael's floor pie recipe. It's not actually a floor pie.
It was so good. It was so good.
It's a pumpkin pie, but that recipe is there. We do different bonus materials so that you get to learn more about us, and who wouldn't want to learn more about us? That's over at Patreon. You can join whatever level works for you. One level, Michael, is this fabulous level where you can actually Zoom with Michael and I once a month. So we
get to ask you questions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we want to know from you people what's important. So yeah, that's over at Patreon. So you can join us there. And we also have amazing people over at Patreon who are supporting our show, don't we, sir?
We sure do. And we want to send a special thanks out to the guys who are supporting us at our executive producer role. And that is Lauren Javier, John Bonasanti, Jason Cruz, Ted Zalewski, and Kurt Bremer. Thank you guys for the faith you put in us. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the encouragement. It means more to us than you'll ever know.
Indeed, it does. Thank you all. And thank all of you who are out there watching and listening to us and commenting. And remember, please be kind, but let us know how you are dealing with this new season that we're moving into. The holidays, the darker skies, the darker light, during the day. Let us know everything. We want to hear from you. And again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe and comment so we know what's important to you.
And ring that bell.
You can ring my bell.
That's enough.
All right. Awesome. Let's go take on the world, Michael. Pop some vitamin D and let's go be happy people out there.
Yes.
All right.
Until next time, thank you, Tom. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you all.